We are going to be talking the role that magnesium plays with your iron. They can make each other worse. They're buddies. We need to understand the role that magnesium, iron plays in our body. I think right now I am seeing so many people that really don't feel well, but they have an iron issue. And what role does magnesium play with that? Do you remember in math was Mrs. Thomas was my math teacher, and she did not like me, I did not like her. Do you remember order of operations? The order of things that you had to do and those long things you had to figure out? Well, there's a certain way you had to do that to come up with the answer at the end that was correct. Our bodies have an order of operations also, and it starts with magnesium. It starts with soaking in magnesium. Magnesium, oh, remember, I'm not a doctor. Oops, I'm not a doctor. I am not diagnosing. I am not telling you what to do. I'm sharing with you what I've learned to put my health back together. So I wake up in the morning with energy. I woke up, I always set my alarm just in case. I woke up like 45 minutes before my alarm went off. I was able to walk outside, hear the birds, check on the fairy garden because I feel better. I was able to rebuild my health. And that's what I want to share with you because we need women feeling better so that they're doing those things that they're passionate about because that changes the world and makes it better for children. Soaking in magnesium, when you look at it through the eyes of iron deficiency, anemia, you will understand the importance even more because magnesium moves iron metabolism. If you have anemia or other iron issues, low ferritin, high ferritin, magnesium deficiency is making it worse. Making sure that we are at cell saturation has been shown to lift and benefit and balance the iron stores that our body has. It starts with magnesium. I will die on this hill. It starts with magnesium and soaking in magnesium. Now, let's go to the next. Remember, we talked about the order of operations in math. Let's go to the next order of operations. And I've always called this the trifecta. Adding, adding vitamin C is the next. Let's see, I can't. Okay, we'll do it this way. Adding vitamin C is the next order of operations because if you start dumping a bunch of iron in your body, it can make you feel worse. We don't want to feel worse, we want to feel better. And the reason that we're adding vitamin C is because we want it to be a vitamin C that has a strong copper core. A strong copper core in your vitamin C, the vitamin C helps you absorb the iron and helps it to be more efficient in your body. The strong copper core helps to move iron out of places that it shouldn't be. And if you've got anemia or you've got low ferritin or you've got high ferritin or your energy is low, almost always you've got iron in places it shouldn't be. The strong copper core and vitamin C, whole food source of vitamin C, grown in a permaculture fashion, slowly processed. They can do a fast process, but it burns through the nutrients and makes it so that it's less available to your body. So this is a slow process when it's processed. It doesn't have all the gunk and fillers. This is going to help prep your body. The magnesium is going to help move it. The copper and the vitamin C is also prepping your body for the desiccated liver. Now, so trifecta. This is trifecta. This is the trifecta I've been talking about for 25 years. This right here hasn't changed. Now, We can go with all the shiny new little do things that are out there, and we get a little dopamine hit and we try it and then it doesn't work. The foundation stays the same. Magnesium, vitamin C, desiccated liver. These three things stay the same because more and more people who are taking desiccated liver aren't feeling well. And I want to talk about why. And it's because we're not moving that iron out of our muscles. We've missed the order of operations. Now, some people can start this all at once and take the trifecta and build their foundation. Some people have to stick with this and stay with this for a while. And then they slowly add in their vitamin C. And then they very slowly add in their desiccated liver if your iron issues are complex, because iron issues can get so complex. And if you've got low or high ferritin, did you realize taking this every other day is best? I feel better taking it every day, but when I started, I had to take it every other day because my copper and my magnesium levels were off and I hadn't had enough whole food vitamin C. And so this really needs to be individualized to your body and what you're experiencing. And remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, I'm not telling you what to do. I am sharing with you because healthy women have strong filters, and you will filter this information through your body, your experience, where you at and where you are at and what you need. Magnesium is needed before we load up on iron, because if you're loading up on iron and you don't have your vitamin C, it can just be going to your muscles and making you feel worse. And if you're taking iron, desiccated liver, whole food iron, that's got B12 and other B vitamins and so many micronutrients, and you're not digesting it, you burp, you don't feel so good, and it's your body giving you feedback. Is it low acid that you're not breaking it down? Is usually the first thing. But sometimes it's because your body is so overloaded because you haven't moved it out of your muscles that this is making you miserable. So we have to back up to the next order of operations. Where are you at in your order of operation? Okay, I set up this really new fancy system and I can't get my mouse back on my regular screen from the big screen that doesn't have this. So I did see a comment go by that said, "Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing this. I started soaking in magnesium and my anxiety increased." And this is another disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing, because you have to make decisions where you're at. Typically, most of the time, but not all of the time, when anxiety increases, when you're soaking in magnesium, it's because you were low in potassium. And then you started with the first order of operations, which this is where we start, so that our interstitial spaces around our cell is loaded with magnesium. Our cells can get the magnesium what they need, and we don't have to worry about all the different kinds of magnesium because we're at cell saturation. When you first start soaking, if your potassium is low, your body will drop more potassium to pick up the master mineral, because we start with this. But if you're low in potassium and your body drops the potassium, it can absolutely aggravate anxiety. And that's when voltage comes into play. And so it can be a sign that your voltage is off, voltage to the cell, voltage to that ATP energy. So what do we need to look at there? we go back to the order of operations: magnesium, salt, potassium. And typically it's potassium that's low. Now, I love the Harmless Harvest coconut water. I just saw some at Trader Joe's that I'm playing around with that I think is a great option and as similar in quality as Harmless Harvest. So I'm playing with that one right now. It doesn't have to be Harmless Harvest. You may not be able to get your hands on it. Sometimes it's hard to find. Coconut water is one of my favorites. White beans. My goal every day is to get half a cup of white beans. Usually I get it in with my lunch in a salad or something that I'm doing for lunch because they're high in potassium. Avocado. I eat an avocado almost every single day. The only reason I wouldn't eat an avocado every day is because it wasn't ripe enough. Avocado, another rich source of potassium. But if you've soaked in magnesium and your anxiety is increasing, eating a half a cup of beans isn't going to make the immediate difference that you need. That's when you need to go to liquid potassium. My mom used to make these cookies. I think they were called snickerdoodles. And she always said she made them at the end of the month because she had grocery money for a month. And so she'd make them at the end of the month when she was out of nuts, out of chocolate chips, and that kind of thing. And my mom was super thrifty and with her food and how she prepared it for our family. And so snickerdoodles were at the end of the month. And it uses cream of tartar in the snickerdoodle. Cream of tartar is a really quick, easy form of potassium that we can use to get into our body quickly. 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar is about 500 milligrams of potassium. It's synthetic, though. Remember that. And some people, it can cause stomach issues. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I need to use the bathroom fast. Everyone is at different places with their body and where it's at. I can do up to 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar a day if I'm worried about my potassium intake without any issues. If I do 3, oh, my stomach doesn't like it. And so making sure you know where you're at. Some people can only do half. Doing coconut water, doing cream of tartar, adding a liquid form if soaking in magnesium is increasing that anxiety. Magnesium is giving you feedback. Your voltage is off. When your voltage is off, you'll never get those pieces working. And so sometimes people will say, oh, that made me feel worse. My perspective's a little different. You just got feedback from your body. And if you're understanding that, you're on the key to feeling better because now you know you need more potassium. Take some potassium, see where you're at. Look at your intake of magnesium, salt, and potassium throughout the day. Are you balanced? Because if your magnesium has been low long enough, your body will take your potassium and use it to try to fulfill the role of magnesium. So then potassium is filling 2 roles, and it's filling the role of magnesium is not what potassium is supposed to do. And then you go in and soak, your body drops more of the potassium that's now playing 2 roles, and you do feel worse. You can Some people have actually gotten heart palpitations because they've been running so long on low magnesium. Now, always take care of yourself. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you not to ignore if you get heart palpitations. I am saying I've seen it over and over and over that when you get that voltage taken care of, most people that will go away. But you never ignore that feedback that your body is giving you. Nancy, what What brand of liquid potassium? Harmless Harvest is my favorite. It's expensive and it's hard to find. And I do not want you thinking, "Oh, because this is what'll happen." I do love the brand. It has been clean and pure from the beginning of my company over 25 years ago. A lot of times when companies grow, they start cutting corners and the quality of the product changes. Harmless Harvest hasn't done that. That does not mean it is the only coconut water I use. There are sometimes I can't find it. There are sometimes it's not in the budget. There are other options to get coconut water in other than Harmless Harvest. Harmless Harvest is the gold standard. It is the best I have ever found. Costco has one. Trader Joe's has one in the refrigerated section that is pink, just like the Harmless Harvest. So there are other things. If you are looking for other coconut waters, make sure to check the label and get the one with the least ingredients. Some of them have so much added sugar and other things that I don't want in my body. And so just make sure to read the back of the label. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We need to take action on making sure our body has potassium. And there are lots of options out there. Harmless Harvest is the gold standard. It is really good. And it's flavor wise, I personally can just drink it straight without like doing this. And I love that because I don't want my body to be stressed out with something that I'm taking in. Like, for example, another thing I do, this is this is one of my hardest to get down. Some people don't have a hard time with it, some people do. I do not like the taste of it. And so I always take this with a drink that I've mixed something in, some fresh lemon juice, some dehydrated strawberry powder, something that is going to help me override and not have that flavor of the desiccated liver. And that just helps me. It helps me that I'm not doing this, oh, gagging when did you like my visual there? Oh my gosh, I am getting my it was supposed to be on. Hold on, I'm moving my mic back into place. Or not my mic, my camera. Okay, go right there. Now we'll move it back into place. Oh, it's not going to do that. I'll sit back like this so it doesn't get off the top of my head. Oh. Anyway, I was laughing at but that's about what I look like when I'm taking it. And so I always drink something strong, a strongly flavored drink when I'm taking my desiccated liver. It's just a habit now because I like the fact that my body is in rest and renew and not stressed out over that. I hope that that helps. Oh my goodness, lots of hummingbirds in the yard this morning were while barefoot and receiving the sun. And I've talked about and I've focused on this a lot. It is the trifecta of whole food and purest source of magnesium. It's the trifecta. You have to adjust it to what your body needs though, how you take it and where you're at in your order of operations. The other order of operations that I talk about a lot is the magnesium morning trifecta, making sure that you are getting outside in the morning, collecting the rays of the sun in the morning are one of the most beneficial things that you can do to lower inflammation. You add magnesium to that, and that doesn't mean you have to soak in the morning. You just magnesium throughout the day. You get that early morning sunshine. And if you add walking on top of that, oh, your cells will communicate better. They will uptake information and nutrition better, and your inflammation will go down. It helps to clear brain fog. It helps to clear pain in your body. It's incredible. And Elizabeth was out this morning listening to the birds. I was out this morning also. My granddaughter painted me this cute little, like, 3-inch high birdhouse at a little craft camp that she did. And she gave it to me Sunday. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to fill that with birdseed, tuck it up in the tree by the fairy garden, and maybe a bird will come. Well, this morning there was 2 birds partaking of the birdseed from that birdhouse. And I was outside, I was barefoot. I'd already soaked in magnesium before that. I was getting that sunshine. Oh, and it was good. We need to be making life choices and creating opportunities that we have moments like that. And that helps us hold on to our magnesium more efficiently. Do you have a little space? Have you created somewhere that you can go? Now, do I get that every single morning? No, I don't. I get it as often as I can. I create that space and time. I know some people that they cannot do that because of an early morning work shift or caring for someone that they have to be inside. Find moments. Find moments. Yours might be in the evening as the sun is going down. You're also getting different rays as the sun sets. My back porch, I have the most beautiful, it's a deck, and I can sit and watch that sunset, and it is spectacular. In the evening time, as the sun is going down, you're also getting specifically coded information from the sun to your cells. And it's very different than sunshine that we get in the middle of the day. That early morning, as the sun goes down, help to reset the cell, increase communication, decrease inflammation. Setting up those moments create health. And healthy women are creative. Now, I want to talk about one thing. And as I've been working with clients again, I've noticed something that makes a huge difference in how you hold on to your magnesium. And it's purely a filter of how you view your body. Are you doing things because you look at your body as broken? Or are you doing things to lift and support your body? And that can be a tough shift. When I was so sick and I was having seizures, I was in a wheelchair, I'd lost so much hair, I'd lost my eyebrows, the little thing on the wheelchair held my head up because I didn't have enough energy to hold it up. My body was really sick. My husband taught me this concept. He said, Kristen, even as sick as you are, there are things that are working in your body that you can have gratitude for, so that you can look at the things you're doing as lifting and supporting the healthy things that are in your body. Now, he naturally goes to that. That is just who he is. Who he is. And he's had major health challenges with some things that he was just born with. And that's how he views it. I'm adding to my healthy body. And it's sometimes it kind of kicks him in the behind because he won't tell people, like when we traveled, he didn't say he was handicapped. And so he shows up and they realize, oh, we need some accommodations. He doesn't view himself as handicapped. He finds those healthy things in his body, and anything that he does, he's lifting and supporting health that's already there. Making that mindset shift, I have to consciously focus on that and not get caught up in, oh, my body's sick or broken. Because if that's your filter, or if that's the filter of people on your team, that are helping support you on your journey of creating optimal health, they'll always view you as sick and broken, meaning you'll always stay sick and broken. Changing that filter is incredibly important. And the simplest way that I've found to do that for me is, even on the days that I feel the worst, finding something that I'm truly grateful for in my body. Now, when I do that, it doesn't negate the other things. I'm focusing on what's already working. Now, for me, it's really simple. I look down at my feet and I move them, and I recognize my feet are so powerful. And just by moving my feet, like right now, I've got them lifted off the desk and I'm moving them in circles back and forth, because death begins in your big toe. And it's the furthest part of your body from your heart. And so moving my feet and pumping that lymph, I am so grateful for those feet. Finding one thing every day that you don't just say you have gratitude, you create and experience the gratitude. Think of like a birthday celebration, and you're so excited to either receive a gift or give a gift. And oh, it's exciting. We want to create that moment of gratitude, listing it off. Oh, yeah, my feet pump and it moves my limb. Man, I, still have this and this and this. That's not changing the perspective. It's when you get caught up in the moment of internally creating that gratitude, and it's a muscle you have to build and maintain. It is a muscle to learn how to create that gratitude in the moment of something that's working in your body. And that way, you're looking at yourself as healthy, and you're just putting puzzle pieces together to create optimal health, to be healthier, instead of trying to fix a broken body. And there's a balance there, because you might feel really broken. I know I did. When I was super sick, I felt really broken. And I'm so grateful that my husband taught me that concept, because it is life-changing. And remember, magnesium, it's not just about soaking in magnesium. It's about soaking in magnesium and decreasing our body's need to soak every day. And we do that by the gratitude we create, the food choices. When you put magnesium in your body, sugar just takes it right out. And so balancing those kinds of choices help you hold on to magnesium more efficiently. And then you can add, this is the first order of operation. This is the second order of operation. This is the third order of operation. Some people can do these all at once. Other people need to add one. Focus on this. Magnesium will give you feedback on where your voltage is at. And if your voltage is off, it's not time to add these yet. You got to get your voltage back on. Magnesium, salt, potassium. Now, sometimes I do voltage and create more voltage with an electrolyte pack, because that's got the magnesium, salt, and potassium. Remember, though, it is synthetic, and synthetic nutrition can only do so much. And that synthetic magnesium in the electrolyte pack can never get you to cell saturation, ever. Soaking in sea brine magnesium that has not been reconstituted from flakes, that has not been mixed, taken from a flake and then water added back in, that's not going to get you to cell saturation. And the majority of magnesium suppliers, that's what they're doing, because it is huge profit, huge. When I first started, there were 3 or 4 people selling magnesium as a topical. Now there are thousands. And I have no problem with that. They need to understand their education and what they're telling people from their own experiences. And magnesium that's been turned into flakes and then mixed back in water is never going to get you to cell saturation so that you can do the next order of operations, which is the vitamin C and then the desiccated liver. It's the foundation. It's what we build our health on. Now, I do the desiccated liver because I can't handle eating it. Ugh, my mom thinks it's a comfort food. She grew up doing liver and onions. I did not. I don't think it's a comfort food. We do want to make sure that our vitamin C's have a strong copper core and have been processed slowly and grown correctly. This one has had nutrients shuttled from other plants. It's not just rows and rows and rows of berries that they harvest because you lose minute nutrition when you do that. That's why sometimes I'm out of vitamin C because I am so picky. I will not take just anything and say, oh, here's vitamin C. It has to be grown correctly. It has to be processed correctly. This is such a boost to your T4, T3 conversion. And that's where thyroid problems start, is a lack of T4 to T3 conversion. And it doesn't show up on blood work for 10 to 15 years. If hair growth, if you're concerned about that, order of operations, magnesium, vitamin C, desiccated liver. I'm not saying it's going to heal at all, but you're giving your body the foundation of what it needs. Maria says, early morning sun shifted my health from dearly sick to barely sick. I had to force myself to go and lie in a chair outside early morning. And some people, once their bodies are worn down enough, they start having issues with the sun. And the sun, they feel horrible when they're in the sun. And so getting that early morning, I've seen help so many people who can't go in the middle of the day because it's a softer, gentler experience with the sunshine. But I'm so glad it shifted you and that you're now building optimal health with that shift happening. Okay, I saw, oh shoot, I can't, I saw someone said, please put your products on Amazon India. Oh, can I tell you? They almost took the business down. We almost didn't survive it. And we're still trying to come out of the issues that we've had with Amazon. So we are focused on getting Amazon to different countries. The process has been very long and slow, and please know we are working on it. I actually, because it's not my area of strength, like, oh my gosh, I could work it every day, but it would be very slow. So I actually hired a consulting team that is helping me to get into different countries so that people can go on and purchase, because I don't ship outside of the United States because magnesium is considered a pseudo pharmaceutical. And so the laws are intense. And please know we are, that team that I brought in to help me to do that is working so hard to make that happen. I see you, I hear you. We have people almost daily reach out from other countries saying, please make your product available in this country or that country. And we are absolutely working on it. Linda, are you saying oh, and yes, Emma, yes, I am with you, Jackie, on Amazon, and I'm so torn on it, so absolutely torn on it as a small business owner that it almost took us down. It is a way I can get it to people in other countries, and I don't, and so I'm with you on Amazon and supporting it. And do we stay on Amazon? But it's such a complex issue, Jackie, and it is one that I have not found the correct answer for the company and the balance of getting it to people so they have a product that's clean, that's processed and grown correctly, and not, it is a very complex. And you can buy it on my site. And that's why I've kept my site up, because when you buy it on my site, it's comes straight from the mine to my warehouse. My daughter fills it, and my daughter and Emily pack it and get it out to you. And that's a very short supply chain compared to other magnesium products. And that's why I kept the website up. And please know, I'm still not at peace over the role that Amazon plays. Yeah, it's complex, Jackie. It's very complex. Linda, are you saying if magnesium is low, do not take desiccated liver? I'm saying if your magnesium has been low for long enough, your thyroid is tanked, you haven't added vitamin C, and you have a storage issue, that taking desiccated liver can aggravate that. And but not everyone who's low in magnesium has gotten to the point that they've got so much iron stored in their body that it's causing issues. So some people, yes, and I am seeing it more often. One of the principles of living the good life naturally that I founded and started the company over 25 years ago, or 20, it's anyway, 25. I guess that we're officially 25, long time ago, is that we need foundational pieces, right? We need those foundational pieces, and we need grandma wisdom. I just call it grandma wisdom. Are you hydrated? Magnesium's hydrophilic. Just making sure you have enough water is going to change the magnesium levels in your body and how it moves. Magnesium moves more efficiently in a hydrated body, but we also have to stay current. It's so important that we stay current with what's happening. And currently, people are so depleted that this might cause a problem. I don't even know the numbers. I am seeing a handful of it. And so I want to talk about that, because those handful of people are frustrated going, wait a minute, I added the foundation and I feel horrific. Well, let's go back to the foundation and see what's the feedback loop. Always, always look at the feedback loop instead of coming from the position of that didn't work, coming from the position of what feedback am I getting from this? What am I missing that those basics, that foundation isn't working for me? Now, we talked earlier about the role potassium plays with magnesium. And I don't know if we talked on this one, but I have talked about if you have interstitial cystitis, you can't be taking vitamin C. You've got to heal that before you can add this component. And then you need to add it very slowly once it's healed. And so I do want to talk about the nuances of things, not to create more confusion for people, but to help people understand that feedback loop. Now, if you're low in magnesium and you've added acerola and you're doing good, and you've added desiccated liver, but you're still low in magnesium, you haven't been low for a super long time and you don't have stored iron and you're good to go, and you can do all three. I was able to do all three at the same time. Some people cannot, though. And so I did want to talk about that, because it helps all of us understand, instead of looking at like that didn't work, looking at it, what's the feedback? What feedback am I getting from my body? I like to think of my body. Oh my gosh, Maria, taking acerola 3. Let me pull this one up so people can see it. Taking acerola that's grown correctly, processed correctly on my website, livingthegoodlifenaturally.com, 2 to 3 times a day with my food. I've noticed more energy and having regular bowel movements. Fantastic. That is fantastic. Maria, you've made my day. You have made my day. Now, one thing we need to do, because if you get to that super, your iron is not moving, your ferritin is off, your magnesium is deficient, one thing that you can do is switch to taking your desiccated liver every other day and taking your desiccated liver 2 to 3 hours apart from soaking, because they can compete. Now, if your highway is strong, you won't have congestion, and it can go, you can have the desiccated liver, you can have the magnesium, they've got their lane, they're good. But if you've got congestion and stored iron and it's blocked up, you'll need to take these separate. I want to make sure I've got, oh, oops, sorry. Grabbed the wrong bottle. You'll need to take these separate from each other. Now, whoa, back up, back up. I'm laying that at your feet. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm sharing some things that I've seen, and I just crossed over a boundary that I want to stay on this side. So please let me correct myself. You might want to look into. I'm not telling you you have to do this. Look into if it's a good fit for you and you are having a hard time with the desiccated liver, then taking it every other day might be an option. Taking it apart from each other might be an option. Never want to assume that I know what's best for your body and I just came across that way. Please forgive me. We're just talking and I'm sharing things. The cool thing of interacting with clients again is I'm seeing that those patterns strongly, and I recognize patterns, and it's those patterns that help me understand, oh, maybe try it this way, or oh, maybe try it that way. And I am seeing massive issues with iron and stored iron, and that's another reason I am so sold on this acerola cherry powder that I carry, because the strong copper core helps you to move out that stored iron. Oh, it's a trifecta. How the trifecta works for you will be different than how it worked for me. Even with the seizures and the wheelchair and all of that stuff that happened, I was able to build all three. And then I found such variances in quality. That's when my control issues kicked in. And I wanted to be in charge of the supply chain because these are so foundational. Are they new and fancy and hit your dopamine because it's the latest new fad in health? Nope, they've been the same for 25 years. 25 years. This is still the foundation. It's the foundation. Once you build a strong foundation, so many symptoms start to go away. And like Maria just commented, her energy's up. She feels better. And then you look at, okay, where am I at now? What do I need to add? Oh, I have a question. I would love some feedback on this. Because I'm always thinking, like, what would help people the most? What would be the most beneficial? And I realized, and I think it was in a conversation with Shelley, I realized I have some foods that are my goal to eat every single day for very specific reasons. Would that be interesting to you on the live so that you could create your own area of foods that are powerful, that really help you? And some of my foods won't be your superfoods, but some of my superfoods are no one, like the wellness industry wouldn't consider it a superfood because it's just this simple food, but it's a superfood to my body and helping it function. I would love some feedback on that if that would be something that would interest you. I've been really brainstorming, doing a lot of journaling, like what would be the most helpful? And that conversation I had, I thought, oh, that might be one that people would enjoy. I would love to know the time that we spent together, almost 45 minutes. What was most beneficial to you? What was your powerful takeaway? Because by choosing that, it goes to a different area of your brain when you have to share it back. It's a completely different loop. And the loop that it gets put in, it's easier to take action. So it opens up the give receive cycle. If you've been around for a while, you know that in my opinion, that give receive cycle is, if you're not building health like you want to and optimizing, it could be that your receiving is shut down. And you'll be able to tell that from how you take a compliment, or if you accept help from someone, or how, if someone just stopped by your home and shared a gift with you, what could you receive that? I bet you could give it, but could you receive it? Those have to be flowing. I like to think of a circulate. Those have to be flowing to receive help, to share your energy. Has to flow. Is yours open? And I can't remember why was I on that tangent? Oh my gosh, I squirreled and can't remember the purpose of the squirrel. I have a tendency to do that. Woo! Okay, it's coming to me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why was I sharing the? Oh, okay, I remembered. So when you leave that comment and your powerful takeaway, it is opening your give and receive cycle, because you are receiving the input from your body and you're taking action. So it's cementing it. And you're also giving. I can't tell you how many times someone will say, oh my gosh, the comment so and so made was nothing I had to say in 45 minutes of a live. It was one simple sentence that one of you wrote down. And so it opens that give receive cycle. Think of that figure eight and that flow. Get it going with your hips. Think of that figure eight, moving that energy, just like we need to move the iron in our body, creates balance, reduces cortisol, helps us hold on to our magnesium levels. It starts with magnesium, it's the foundation. And then we add the acerola, if appropriate, and then the desiccated liver. It took me from wheelchair to waking up before my alarm, outside, sharing with my little granddaughter that birds visited the birdhouse that she made for me. And those are the reasons that I want to be healthy and strong. For that deep connection, healthy women are deeply connected to those around them, to people that they love. And when you feel better, it opens up your capacity to feel and experience and think about those deep connections that you have in your life. Oh, Colleen, I love, thank you for the takeaway. Adjusting how to take the desiccated liver, listening to your body, knowing it can mess with. I want to rephrase mess with your T4, T3. It increases the turnover of, of conversion to T4 to T3. And so it improves that T4 to T3 conversion. Oh, Maria, you are so kind. Thank you. That was so kind, and I am receiving that, and I'm holding that dearly. Um, Someone was talking to me. It was a neighbor I'd met, and she said, "Well, I really want to get to know you." She said, "What is the one thing, if you left this world, that would make you sad if it hadn't happened?" And I realized being connected to my family deeply, both ways. That flow. Think of that figure eight again, and making a difference for other people, and being a part of the solution to help women wake up healthier. And if those two things hadn't happened, I would feel like a failure. And so you saying that is just, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Sasha, I believe it's Sasha. I love the foot soap, need some more, but waiting for it to hopefully be on sale soon. The best way to find out when those happen, and I have to tell you, I have a love hate with sales. Ooh, I really do. I have a love hate with sales. Just in the fact that I just want to price it at a fair price. And when things will happen behind the scenes in the company and I'm able to offer a sale, um, and so we have two big sales a year. Calm Black Friday, not the crazy. It's calm Black Friday. It's gratitude back and forth, you and I. It's my way of saying thank you. And so, calm Black Friday in November, we always have a sale. July, we always run a big sale. And then I will run others throughout the year. Those are not, those are like little things will happen, like, oh my gosh, the warehouse space, I've got to move these, I've got to hire someone to move them to a different place. That's ridiculous. Let's give a sale price, move them out to people and help, because it solves the issue of the warehouse space kind of thing. And so those other sales happen as little quirky things happen behind the scenes. And I've really worked, not we have worked hard, team has worked very hard to be able to offer you with increased shipping, increased tariffs. Oh, we've just maximized and utilized and created better systems so that we can be more efficient, because payroll hours, make a difference in the cost of magnesium. And team has done so much to help me keep that where it needs to be, even with all of the increases that we've had around us that are out of our control. And so be on the lookout. The best way to do that is to join my email newsletter. And the email newsletter will get notification first. Okay, the sale is happening. And so they'll get it a day, sometimes 2 days before the sale happens. They'll get notification, hey, the sale is happening. And so that's the best place. But let me tell you, on the email newsletter, you've got to open it and take action on it, share it with a friend, reply to it, or it will quit sending to you, because I've set it up, because the email newsletter is a cost as any business. And so if you haven't interacted, I believe it's after 9, it will stop sending to you, because every one that I send costs money. And so if you haven't opened it or clicked on something or responded to it or shared it with a friend in 9 emails, then it stops sending. And so to continue getting those emails, taking action is really important. And that's where lots of those things go very first. Oh, and look, Shelley just added the link for that. It's been delightful to be with you today. Thank you for sharing your powerful takeaway. I do lives Monday and Wednesday. We've had some glitches with Instagram and we haven't been able to connect. So I'm hoping that Instagram fixes on the back end so that we can go live on Instagram too. Facebook deletes videos after 30 days, but YouTube keeps them. And so if you ever wanted to look back at other lives, you can go to my YouTube channel, livingthegoodlifenaturally.com, and find them there. But thanks for being with me today. I hope that throughout the day, you've got bandwidth to create some moments that you go, oh, pinch me, my life is real. And you breathe it in, slow down, because that helps you hold on to magnesium. And when we do that, it changes the way minerals move in our body. It changes the way iron functions in our body. Oh my gosh, I have to show you. Okay, a book. We're doing book. If you are someone who struggled with anemia, and remember, anemia is not a diagnosis. It's a symptom of something else in your body that needs attention. Anemia is on the feedback loop. This is one of my favorite books. It's called The Iron Disorders Institute Guide to Anemia. And it can be overwhelming. There is a lot of clinical data. This is not one that I read cover to cover. I have. This is one I go in and search what I'm looking for and get some feedback from this. Anemia is not a diagnosis. It's a feedback loop for your body. That means you're deficient in magnesium. The role that magnesium plays with your iron, it kickstarts your body's ability to absorb the iron. And we've got a crisis with iron happening in our country. And we've got to stay on top of it. We've got to take those things that will help us to build that strong foundation. It's everything I've talked about for 25 years. Thanks for being a part. And I will see you on Wednesday, maybe. So hang out with me on Wednesday, Mondays and Wednesdays, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Bye bye. Shelly, can you end the stream?